All right,
Somebody took off,
folks.
huh?
Let's,
Try to go right away.
nope, we're fine. Let's do it, 6 o'clock. Tuesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. I see we all had hot dates, obviously.
Yeah.
So, we're here. So we will start out with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Play ball. All right, approve agenda. Anybody got questions on the agenda? No, okay. Approve minutes for the January 10th and the January 25th special town board meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I can second.
Second by Patty. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. Okay. Number 4, public comment. People wishing to address the board will be limited to 2 minutes each, with public comment limited to a total of 30 minutes. Anybody wishing to address the board? Sure.
Jeff Manor here from...
You could stand up and just say your name towards,
Okay.
stand where you live towards the
All
camera.
right, I'm Jeff Manor, and I live in Wisconsin Rapids, the town of Saratoga. I'm here to talk a little bit about the Lake District that the group is trying to get started for Nepco Lake. I believe you were sent a packet, but we actually approved it with Saratoga 2 weeks ago, and then Port Edwards is approving it or working on it tonight. But there's, what we're trying to do is to create, the developer has not cut weeds for 3 years, it'll be 4 years this year. And so, as a lot of people know, the Nepco Lake gets very weedy. And so we're trying to get the Lake District together to actually take care of the weeds and the lake down the road. There's 258 parcels on the lake. Grand Rapids has 19 of those parcels. With those, there's 15 votes, because some people own more than one parcel. And so of those, we sent out a petition in November, and of the 19 parcels, the 15 votes, we received 14 back, and all unanimous voting for to the creation of a Lake District. Overall, we have 61 or 62% of the 258 parcels that we, votes that we sent out, the petitions that we received back. And I believe there was only maybe one out of those that we did receive back that didn't support it. All the rest, and they didn't live on the lake, they were adjoining one. But everybody else has been unanimously supporting the Lake District. So that's what we're hoping down the road. I don't know if you have a resolution, but I believe Boz is working to get you one where we're hoping that you would support the Lake District as well.
Okay, Nick, you wanna?
I do have a couple clarifying questions, and I realize it's public comment, so there'd be clarifying questions and maybe referrals if needed. The couple clarifying questions I have, so you've mentioned support and approval in Saratoga, and those are important words by way of the process to form a Lake District. So what I'm wondering, because it's a little inconsistent with what you're saying, when you're circulating the petition, so certainly we have, it's multi-jurisdictional, it's got to go through the county.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking for municipal support, and in the statutes, when you're forming a Lake District, one way to get around the petition requirement is to get a resolution of support from each of those municipalities. That's one way.
Right.
There's of course other requirements with the village.
Mm-hmm.
Cities and villages have heightened requirements and different processes. So when you're talking, and it wasn't you necessarily, but when the group is talking about a resolution of support, can you explain what that is? Because when I hear that, and I hear that it was approved by Saratoga, of course I jump to, you're looking potentially for the town of Grand Rapids to approve it in lieu of any petition signatures, but then I'm hearing that you've got pretty much all the petition signatures.
Yes.
So are you just looking instead for a support at the time of perhaps the county's public hearing and consideration process to the idea of a lake district, or what is a resolution to you?
Well, resolution, there's like a 2-page document that Boz has, the administrator, and the Port Edwards Village admin has sent out to, Port Edwards has it, and Saratoga. And it states in there that there's I don't have a copy with me unfortunately, but it states in there that here's what the Lake District is, here's a proposal, here's the amount of petitions that we've received in support, because we know that Wood County, we have to go through Wood County to actually get it approved. Port Edwards is the largest village of the Nepco Lake. It's about, once the properties go back to Port Edwards in 2024, they'll have like 65% or whatever the properties in there. And they could actually just approve and say, let's move forward with it, but we wanted the support of all 3 villages that people are represented that live in. And so that's, and it also has in there, as far as that the municipalities would not be taxed with the lots that if they do own any, like Saratoga owns a couple lots for their kayak, Domtars own some lots, and the developer has some undeveloped lots that there is some wordage in there as far as who would be taxed and who would not be for those.
Okay, so when you say that last comment, are you talking about taxed or subject to anything from the Lake District Board?
Correct.
You're not talking about
No,
property
they'd still have
taxes.
But it wouldn't be taxed in lieu of them. We're looking at the developer actually donating the weed machines to us, and also Domtar has also had interest in it, and that they would give us a place to take the weeds on and off, and park the weed machines too.
Okay, so no part of that resolution is anticipated to have us waiving any rights or
No.
that we would have to that?
No, that's correct.
Okay. And then just one final question would be just a general one on timeline. As far as steps procedurally, you've hit on a lot of them. What is the timeline that you all have in this process, and when would you be looking for a resolution of support
Right
to
now,
be
we're
considered by the
looking,
board?
yeah, we're looking to go to Wood County in March. I believe their meeting is the 21st, 22nd, the 3rd week, is that correct?
Yeah, it was March
That's what
21st.
we're looking to do, if in fact we have the support of all 3 villages. Because, as we said, it doesn't make sense to go forward to Wood County if we don't have the support of the villages. And that's what we're looking for, is the support. And so we have Saratoga's, Port Edwards is meeting tonight. That's on their agenda to work at. And then if we can get Grand Rapids, if we can put it on the next agenda, then somebody will be here to actually answer any other questions as well.
Okay.
And that would be before Wood County in March.
Yeah, because I guess I do have just based off of that last comment, I do have other questions, because you're saying that you wouldn't go to the county until you had support of each of the municipality, of course, 1 village and 2 townships.
Right.
But that would typically come into play when you were trying to do a resolution in lieu of signatures on a petition, and you've already
But
got
we
this.
already have those, right.
So it's really, that's largely a
It's not
nomination.
necessarily, okay.
But regardless, I mean, it's not to say that timing-wise that wouldn't work for the board to consider a resolution. I just wanted to make sure I understood what
Yeah,
your
we have
thoughts
the-
were on timing and
Because we need 51% of the signatures, and we have like 61 or 62 already. So, I mean, we have that, but again, we still want the villages and or townships support.
well, certainly it's going to be most important for the village, actually, because there's other rights that they have as far as what to subject and not subject to that Lake District. So you're likely considering that piece, it's not the same exact way with townships, but that doesn't mean that the town of Saratoga and town of Grand Rapids can't consider a resolution.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have comment? Hearing none, we will move on. Monthly reports. Chief.
Evening, residents and board. Monthly report for January of '23. We're currently staffed with 48 members, 7 EMS only. We're always looking for good people. See me? Request calls for the month of January. We got a much needed reprieve from December. We had only had 26 calls. 24 were EMS, 2 were fire. Both fire calls were mutual aid calls with the city. Training information last month for EMS. We're done. All our EMRs are done with their refreshers. I got a couple people doing their EMT refreshers right now. So last month we met at United Ambulance and went through their rigs and did a rig familiarization, did med bag checks. When we got back, fire, we did truck familiarization on all our rigs, did wall breach drills. Last month I had 4 more members take the 8-hour ice rescue technician class on Saturday, January 28th. So I've got 4 more that can put on suits and go in the icy waters. So we had 1 department meeting, 1 officer meeting, 4 training meetings. Under public relations, we hosted another bi-monthly blood drive. Smoke detector program, Captain Ski was a little crazy busy. He did 15 homes last month. Address sign, I got a couple others, but nothing goes on this time of year with address signs. One thing I'll add is it's looking 98% sure we'll get our new squad truck on the week of March 13th. So I didn't have that in the report, but safety department, there was no injuries this month. When we got the new AEDs in, I did an impromptu meeting with our town crew, so I put that on there. One of them had a question, and all 3 of them happened to be in here doing something. So I said, you know what, let's take 15 minutes and go through these AEDs, so we can count that as a as a safety meeting. So and there is now basically an AED in every town building now. So obviously we have them over there, multiples, but you got one here, and then there's one over at the garage now for the crews working over there. And then obviously the PD has an AED in every vehicle as well. So, and then now I can actually get a few more of them in the hands of my EMS people out in the field. So thanks for that. So I got those. Luckily they were in stock when you guys approved those ARPA funds. I ordered them the next day. I had them like 2 or 3 days later. So yeah. Any questions from the board on anything?
Did you guys participate in the polar plunge at all this year, or is that just?
I had one firefighter. I know some of my people donated, but I had, it was mainly Jewel and then a bunch of the cops, I think.
You guys didn't take any vehicles out there or anything?
No, that's Beeren's area, so I know they were out there.
Okay.
So
Are you taking any funds for the Easter egg hunt coming up?
yep, that's right around the corner. We'll start working on that. So that's going to be in April, like the 9th, I think, 8th or 9th. I don't have my calendar on me, but
Yeah, the 9th.
yeah, we'll be holding that again. So, anything else from the?
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Evening, everybody. Chief Peterson asked me to do the monthly meeting, so in the month of January, we handled 344 calls for service compared to 338 last year, a 1.7% increase in calls. Everybody's got a breakdown of the calls, second sheet to this. We issued 41 traffic citations, 7 ordinance citations, no DNR citations, and 41 warnings for the month. January 13th, Officer Backlund and Officer Conover conducted an informational presentation on scams, schemes, and frauds targeting age-experienced population. I heard that it was a good class. They had a good turnout and stuff on it. Let's see. It sounds like they're going to do future ones. I know I've had a couple of calls this week and end of last week on scams and stuff, and they never heard that we had that training available, that they could go and see it. So we'll have to look at a different way to post it. I know it was on Facebook and a couple other spots, but maybe we can look at some other way to get the message out there so they can come and take part in that training, or just informational purposes so they understand. Let's see. All the vehicles are doing well. I don't have much, anything else to add to that. Mel says if you need to speak with them, feel free to stop in and see them. Any questions from the board?
No?
Okay.
I think so. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Age experience. It's a new one to me. It's a new one to me.
I've heard of advanced age.
Yeah. Jewel.
Yeah. Yeah, I am still struggling to get the
Okay.
balancing done. I survived this first tax season.
Congratulations.
It was a settlement with the county. And I have an SOS out to Mike Martin to see if he can come in and help us out and enlighten the clerk on things she missed last year, and we're working on it.
Okay.
We still have money.
No.
It's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's-
I just
you
need
hit
to
on
know.
You hit the highlight. Good deal.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Thank you. Number 6, consideration and possible action on recommendation from Plan Commission for certified survey map for Michael Fensky, 1440 48th Street South, parcel number 0700651C, requesting a division of land which will result in a newly created 1-acre parcel.
Mr. Chairman, I can give a general overview of this for
Please.
the board's consideration. So the request comes before you today to divide a 1.752 acre parcel to create 2 lots, that being one with being 1 acre and the other being 0.752 acres. The reason it's coming before you this evening is because by our ordinance, where there's a CSM that also has a dedication involved in it, it's going to be a recommendation from the Plan Commission, and then it's subject to the town board's approval. That's in 51.7. And so this was considered by the Plan Commission at its January 9th, 2023 meeting. You have the minutes in your packet, after which it was recommended for approval. And I'll just point out that if you look at your CSM, along the left there, you'll see a notation to be dedicated to the public. And so there's a dedication in there, and that was the reason why this one comes before the town board. Otherwise, it was a fairly routine land division, and I believe that's reflected in the Plan Commission's meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Yeah, motion second. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Passed. Number 7, consideration of possible action on Fire Chief Ice attending the Wisconsin Fire Chiefs Education Conference in Madison, March 8th through 10th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve the attendance of fire chief attending the Wisconsin Fire Chiefs Education Conference in Madison.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
This is a normal one that you go to, correct?
No, this is a new one. This is
Okay.
one only for full-time chiefs. Victor Voss from Amherst has been pushing me to go to this for a few years, and so I thought I'd check it out. It looks like a really good agenda, so.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none? Enjoy it. Number 8, consideration of possible action on obtaining a .gov domain name for the town to identify the township's website as a trusted government source and enhance security for the township and its residents.
Can I ask how this came about? Did someone come to our town, or is that something we thought we should do?
No,
or-
this actually came about shortly before I left. The Wisconsin Election Commission was recommending that all clerks switch over to .gov for security purposes. And then when I came back, we were talking about it one day, I guess because we were looking at the town website upgrade, so we thought it was maybe a good time to do this at the same time, get that domain and
Yeah, so this specific step is part of the process to get that .gov email. What this is doing, what you have here in this authorization letter, is really securing the domain. For a number of reasons, we probably want to secure the domain. If we like this domain, that would allow us in the future to get our website turned over to be that domain, the .gov domain, and then eventually we can then migrate our emails. So it's really step one, think about it in the process of really 3 steps.
I was excited to see this, so good job.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Not yet.
I'll make that.
Motion, you got a second?
Second.
Patty, second. Any discussion further? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. January disbursement vouchers.
I have a question, if I may.
Hmm?
I see that there's a new name that I'm not familiar with under the Public Works. Is that a part-time
What
helper?
page are you on?
Oh, the very first one.
Oh, on the payroll, okay, I'm sorry.
And then actually on page 2 as well.
The first one on page, for which?
It would be the
Well-
check number 7584.
No, he's been with us for years. He's a part-time snowplow.
Oh, that's, okay.
Yeah.
That's, okay, thank you.
Yeah, so 3 of those names there are part-time, are
Okay.
part-timers.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Actually, I need a motion, I guess.
Just
No.
reviewing
We
them,
can
so you're
just-
fine.
yeah, we can just
we don't
sign
need a
them.
motion.
All right. All right, number 9, number 10, operator license applications. Looks like we have just the one.
4 approvals and 1 denial.
Oh, yeah, there they are, okay.
Thank you.
Get a motion for the operator's license?
I'll make a motion to approve all the one use or the ones listed on here.
Did you get it, Patty?
No,
I'm not gonna read them.
that's why I didn't do it.
And then I'll motion for the denial as well,
I'll second.
as presented.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None?
Is that my
Okay.
copy?
Monthly reports, Public Works did not meet. Airport Commission, we met, went through quite a long list of updates for, I'll keep this one, I gave her mine. On the progress of all of the things at the airport with the cutting of the trees and potential master plan for new runways and all that. So it was a very informative meeting. Obviously, things are slow there because it's winter and not a lot of people coming in and out, but getting prepared for spring and the big PGA event that's going to be coming up this summer. That'll probably bring a lot of additional traffic also, so. Recycling, solid waste and water.
Nothing at this time.
Plan Commission,
We met last night. We had a certified survey map that is combining 2 parcels. We also had a dog exemption. We also did the renewal of the annual dog exemptions for the town. And then we did receive an update on Dollar General regarding the driveway access to that property. Roland Hawk was in to talk about it. And then also we wrapped up, I think, is this all of our zoning districts? The final for the ordinance number 52 with the conditional uses and permitted uses. So that was about that.
thank you. Public Buildings,
We're working on problems with the phone system here, and I'll be giving a report to Amber, and we'll probably hold a meeting on.
okay, thank you. Legislative did not meet. Public Safety,
We didn't meet.
Economic Development,
We have not met either in this month.
okay.
Did last.
Personnel, we had some meetings and finish up reviews with the employees. So, WTA,
Yes, yeah. The WTA meeting was January 20th, and it was hosted by the town of Port Edwards. And Ms. Normington from the Wood County Health Department spoke on substance abuse being the #1 problem in Wood County, and whether it is alcohol or drugs, either one of those. And Senator Teston and Representative Scott Krug was there and spoke on what's going on in the legislature, and they're kind of waiting for the budget from the governor. And Town Director Steve Dickinson was stated that the legislators are prioritizing including the state budget and shared revenue. District meeting will be held in February, and also there will be board of review training will be scheduled in April. The next meeting is this Friday night at the town of Remington, that's in Babcock. And Roland Hawks, Wood County Highway Supervisor, Highway Chair, Roland Hawk, Wood County Highway Commissioner, will be the speaker at that. And some good news is that the village of Vesper in Wood County has joined the Towns Association, so that's the first village to join in this county, and so we are still 100% with the village of Vesper becoming part of it. That's always good news.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I just have one other thing to piggyback off of Supervisor Clendenning. The Board of Review training, there will be one virtual option, so if anybody is interested in attending that, I believe they sent it out today, a flyer on it. Just note that there will be one that will be virtual. Otherwise, I think the closest is maybe Stevens Point, but that'll start April 21st.
Okay. Reports from individual town board members. Bill, you got anything?
Yes, there was that about the garbage trucks leaving stuff out there, and I checked that out today. There was nothing I saw at all.
Oh, really? Over on Richmond,
Is it from
Patrick Henry Court area
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
I can't think of the exact word.
But I couldn't find anything on the roads, no spills, but
Oh.
I remember the last one we had, especially with hydraulic fluid, was up off of almost on 80th Street there. And we went to the DNR, Arnie was involved in this too. And in order for the DNR to get involved, they have to at least spill 1 gallon of antifreeze or hydraulic fluid rather, 1 gallon of it. And so they checked with Waste Management, and Waste Management, that particular day that happened, they didn't report putting a gallon in for the next trip, so it wasn't investigated, but it was all over, so that's all I have.
Patty?
Bill more or less reported on what I was gonna say, but
Oh.
that's fine. No worries, no worries. We're on the same team. That's it.
Okay. Andy?
I don't have anything.
All right, I don't have anything. Public input. People wishing to address the board will be limited to 2 minutes each. Public input limited to a total of 60 minutes. Anybody from the public? No? Okay. All right, future agenda items.
Do we need to put the Lakes Association or district on for a future
I had it
consideration?
noted as a possible future agenda item.
Right.
And then update on the command vehicle that we approved for DACGov deals to be put on.
13 GMC.
Yeah,
We're-
I've reached out to them, working on it. We got the blue book
Okay.
price for a minimum, so we'll get that listed probably in the next couple weeks.
Perfect.
You can go on there. So, anything else? All right, take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everybody.